Hello, 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 you guys. I am going to give you guys a minute to hop on. It's not quite noon yet. I'm a little bit early today for a change. So I'm just going to give you guys a minute to hop on. We're going to talk about your soul path today. I feel like saying soul train, right? It's so funny. I might actually break out dancing today because I don't know, I got this like download for us to do a little like dance breakout session. We'll see if that actually happens. I'm not sure. So we're talking about soul path, and we're also talking about how we manifest, because we are manifesting some crazy stuff right now, right? As a world, as a nation, we are, got this hair sticking out. There she goes. Okay. We got some stuff that we are manifesting right now. And I thought this would be a really good time to share with you guys what I've been getting in meditations in terms of the energy, what's happening with this, why we're manifesting this, and also do intuitive check-ins for you guys. And I definitely want to share the details of this course that we're starting on April 1st. I am finally getting some people coming in and telling me I think I'm meant for this course. We have, hey Rosemary, good to see you. We definitely have a couple people who are interested in this, and I'm getting excited because it's going to be a group of people who are ready to up level and dedicate an hour or two once a week to their gifts and their business, and really coming together and helping one another out. You're going to be in a Zoom room together. You're going to be dedicating that time for yourself and your business to up leveling. There's going to be love. There's going to be support. There's going to be like high vibes, and it's going to be totally like transformative energy. So I love doing this. I love meeting in groups with people in this mastermind kind of energy, because you get to ask your question and then have feedback from, not only me, and I'm doing this more as a mentorship for people, because I'm passing on what happened for me with my very first business, which is I had a mentor who, her name was Kate. God bless her soul. She's on the other side now. But she walked me through the process of, taking the leap, taking the jump into having my own business. She showed me a clear roadmap for how to do that. She had already laid out, what to do with it. And she showed me all that I needed to do was take the steps. And, but I needed that support. And I think that's what's important, in this day and age is, we go to college and we hope that we're going to learn what we need to learn there. And I did that. I went to college too. And I have to say that I learned more from that mentor than I did at college. It's pretty sad. I paid a lot of money to that college. And I learned more from that mentor than I did from college. So we're just welcoming some people on. It's good to see you guys. Hey Nicole. Hey Shreya. I hope I'm saying your name right. I remember you. It's good to see you, girl. So it's really important to know that if you're ready for like change or up leveling, you've got to surround yourself in the right energy. You have to surround yourself, I always say, with 5 people. It's not just me. It's going to be people who you look up to, people you are learning from, people who inspire you, people who can help you stay in the right energy, to stay focused, to stay dedicated, because that's what it takes to get yourself in the right place to be successful with your business. Okay? So today we're talking about soul path. We kind of talked about that last time, right? On Tuesday, we were talking about what it means to be aligned with your soul path and how people show up on it. And sometimes you end up like wearing that out a little bit, right? Some of you guys that are on, I know you know what I'm talking about. You're walking your path, and then at some point this person or people fall away from you, and that's a good thing. That means that you are up leveling. It means you are continuing on your path and traveling forward. And if you do that with an open heart and you keep staying aligned, the right people will come in to your path, and the right situations will present themselves on your path. So it really is about always checking in to see if you are aligned with your path. And the one thing that most people come to me for, I have to say, is relationships. That's the number one thing people come to me for. The number two thing people come to me for is work. And so it's really interesting right now, if you guys are noticing what's happening in the world, it's really interesting what we are manifesting on a global scale. Like, everyone that comes to me is always saying to me, I hate my job, I hate my boss, I want more freedom, I want to be able to do what I want to do, I want more autonomy, I'm done. Like a lot of people are just like, I'm stressed out, I don't have work-life balance, I don't really feel like I'm shining in my job, in the tasks that I'm doing. Like, everyone says that to me when we're doing sessions. That always comes up. And it's something that I can tell when people are in that energy of like, ugh, this is not working for me, and how they want to get out of it, and they just feel like they don't know how. And so what ends up happening is we end up manifesting the situation, right? Because whatever is going on internally for us is what's going to get projected outside of us. And that's what we end up then seeing outside of us. And so you may end up then seeing how things are difficult, your world feels kind of like burdensome, your job doesn't feel very aligned, you're feeling very disconnected, and all of that means that you are manifesting, right? You have basically manifested a situation that feels difficult, that feels hard. You are a creator. You have the ability to create. And so right now, what we're all creating is the situation where everyone has to go work from home, which is like super awesome. I'm like, yes, everybody, good job. The only thing is, at the same time, people are having moments of slipping into their ego, and they're freaking out about it because they're unsure about how am I going to get paid now? Am I going to get paid? Like all of those things are coming up for people too. But I get excited in these kind of situations, you guys. I know a lot of people, when they come to me, they actually like get super confused, because whenever they're going through something really difficult or hard, like a divorce, or like leaving a relationship, or they feel stuck in their work and they're coming to me, I get super excited for them. I get like really pumped up and excited, because I know that it means that change is coming. This situation that we're experiencing right now with the world, to me, means change is coming, right? it is going to shift things on a global scale. It's going to shift things. And this is kind of like, if you want to think about it, like a little timeout, you know, for not only people in general, like people going home and having to do work at home, but it's also a timeout for businesses and companies, because they're having to rethink how they are doing business now. They're having to they're being forced basically to let go of old beliefs and old ways. They're having to surrender, and they're being forced. I was really having a good time observing this the last few weeks, because I was watching and I knew right away, I was like, oh, we're all going to be going home. We're all going to be staying home. We're all going to be inside. This was weeks ago, and businesses were having the hardest time. They were like struggling with this as a concept. They didn't want to let go. They just wanted to like hang on, you know, to these old ways. And if you do that, if you stay in that kind of energy, it starts to feel stagnant. It starts to feel stuck. Energetically, this is what everyone was feeling on a massive scale. And that's why I had people coming to me and repeating to me, I don't like my work situation. I don't like my boss. I don't like that I don't have autonomy. I don't like that I don't have freedom. Everyone was repeating this to me. I always look for the things that are getting repeated. Whenever someone comes to me, I'm looking for what story they're in, what they're repeating, because that's a sign of exactly the energy that's keeping you stuck, right? So this is what can happen, is you can end up manifesting from that. Whatever it is, whatever energetically, wherever you are on your path, like I was showing you guys, and you can watch the last video about what a path is, what kind of pulls you back, what keeps you stuck, you know, on your path. Whenever you reach a certain point on your path, if you stay there for a little bit, right? Say you start to believe a certain type of story, you start to believe a certain kind of belief, something like that happens, it starts building. And whatever you get locked into in terms of your thought pattern, you then start creating. And that happens to help you. You do this, we manifest in order to help us along, right, on our path. And what ends up happening is we either end up manifesting something that feels good and successful. That means that we are actually aligned on our path. If things are in flow, if we're using our gifts, if we're using our abilities, then that means we're in flow. But if we end up manifesting something that's like a difficult situation, right, or a challenging situation, or the energy starts to feel kind of stuck in a situation, that's also helpful too, because it's reflecting to you, okay, this is not what you should be doing. It's actually, now I've deterred, you know, from my path. I'm off path now. So that stuff's explained in the last video. This one I want to talk specifically about how when you align, how you do manifest, how that does work, right? And so the best way to manifest is when you get attuned to your gifts. I say the best way because I think most of you guys you want to get into manifesting good things like success in your life, right? I'm hoping like there's nobody out there that's like, no, I want to just manifest crap in my life all the time. We definitely want to keep manifesting good things. So if that's what you're wanting, then it's about getting into your gifts and allowing those to emerge more. And in order to do that, you have to allow yourself to go there. You have to give yourself the time, dedicate yourself to it, and do it as a practice, because it's not something that happens overnight. I wanted to talk specifically about this and kind of give you guys an example, because back when I was getting into meditation and really letting my gifts kind of come out and emerge, I hit a little roadblock, and I was very frustrated about it. And it's interesting how everything is intertwined. That's been coming up a lot lately. I've been talking with people about this situation and how the two things that have been coming up, work and relationships, even right now, are very intertwined for people. People are having to come and work from home, but then they're also being around their family, right? And so that's bringing up a lot of stuff for people. So when I was kind of coming into my gifts, I was really letting myself go there as much as I could. I was going to meditations, I was meeting up with teachers, I was finding amazing teachers who I had never before in my life had felt so aligned with. People that would sit and talk and tell me things, and it was like they were speaking to my soul for the first time in my life. I truly felt like they were helping to put the puzzle pieces together for me. And I felt a little frustrated because I was in this relationship at the time. I was married, and we were struggling. We were having a really difficult time. And a lot of my beliefs were keeping me stuck there. And I remember reaching out to some of my mentors and some of my teachers, and as I kept working through, my gifts and trying to let them emerge, and I hit this like wall. I hit this point of being stuck, and I was getting really frustrated. I was like, but I want my gifts to come out. I want to do this. I want to really fully embrace them and get into them. And I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I couldn't figure out what was holding me back. And I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I was doing my practices. I was meditating. I was doing all of that. Finally reached out to one of my higher level teachers. And this is a teacher that when you sit with him, you guys, he just within like 5 to 10 minutes, boom, boom, boom. I had come with like a couple questions that I knew I wanted to ask. Didn't even have to ask the questions. He just said the things, and I was like, okay, that answers that question. That answers that question. That answers that question. It was just like boom, 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 and he's like that just all the time when you sit, because he's that attuned, like that aligned. And I remember asking, he was done telling me everything, basically said, this, and this. And I was like, okay, yeah. And yet I was still feeling like, I guess I was like a kid asking for a cookie, 5 different ways, and the parents telling you no 5 different times. I just kept asking. And eventually I said, I really want to get my gifts to kind of come out. I want my practice to go to a different level. I want to feel that. And he just basically said to me, you have to get a divorce. You have to leave. And no one had said that to me. I had gone to therapists, I had gone to teachers, I had gone to friends, I had gone to all kinds of people, and no one had said that to me. Everyone was telling me, oh, in the right time you'll know what to do, and you'll figure this out, and had all kinds of, and he just cut to the chase. He was like, you have to surrender, you have to surrender and get aligned. And in his words, he basically was saying, if you want to up level this practice, then you have to let go of the thing that's keeping you stuck. And you're not going to hit these other levels if you keep doing the same thing. And it really hit home with me. That really sunk in with me. It was a moment in time where I felt like this mentor really knew, like, for me to go to this next level, this is what I needed to surrender. And he saw what I was attached to. And this teacher's all about attachment and detachment and surrender, and teaching you that. And it was big for me. I remember thanking him, getting off the call, basically like crying, because I was like, okay, this is something I've got to do. Like I'm gonna have to release this in order, if this is what I want, And so then that became the question, right? This is what I'm talking about today with you guys, about what do you want to manifest? Because you are a creator. You have the power to create whatever you want, whatever situation you want, right? In this whole thing, the whole universe, right? So listen to and get attuned to, what is the story you're telling yourself right now? Is that story creating the situation that you really do truly want? If it's not, then what do you need to give up? What do you need to surrender in order to step into what you do want to manifest? That's as simple as it gets. There's something that you have to surrender or let go of in order to step into the next phase, the next level for yourself. The story that I've been sharing lately has been about the gentleman that came to me with his wife, and he was having stomach issues and stress at work. And he ended up telling me that, his new boss was yelling at him all the time. He felt very stressed about that. He was telling me that he basically didn't want to have to deal with her anymore. And I asked him, I said, well, tell me, what's your plan? Do you want to work somewhere else? And he was like, yeah, the dream I have is to work at Disneyland and be one of those greeters, those people that help other people out. And he totally lit up. His energy shifted in that moment when he said that to me. And then when I asked him, well, what's going on with you at work? He shifted back. His energy went right back. And he continually repeated to me his plan, which was that he was going to get sick so that he could take his paid vacation time, 2.5 years built up of vacation time, and that time would be the perfect amount of time for him to take off so that he could retire at retirement age. So he was telling himself he needed to get sick in order to hit that sick paid time off and hit retirement. And I was like, whoa, do you hear the story that you're telling yourself? This is what you are basically believing, and your body is going to align with you and make that happen. It is going to manifest. You are a creator. You have the ability to make that happen. In fact, you are making it happen. You already have stomach issues. That's why you're here right now. So the sad part of this story is that I worked with him, taught him a meditation, told him we're going to work again. I want you to come to me in a week or 2 weeks, and we're going to keep working on helping you unwind from this place, right? And reframing and getting yourself aligned with where your heart is happy, and allowing that to flow for you. And because that's a process, you guys, getting to the point of where you are now in creating kind of like crap in your life to like getting to the point where you're creating from an aligned place takes time. It takes the practice work. It takes the dedication work. And so he was on board. He's like, okay, cool. I'm going to come back. He and his wife are going to come back. We set the date. A week later, his wife calls me and tells me that he's passed. He passed away at work. He went upstairs, was stressed out over something with his boss, went upstairs, found a room to go to be quiet, and passed away, maybe a heart attack. And unfortunately, I give this example because it is such a powerful example about how what you are telling yourself, the story that you are repeating, and we repeat things to help our soul. We are speaking these things to help ourselves out, right? And it's so important to hear those things and really take a moment to hear and say, am I saying these things from my ego, or am I saying these things from my spirit? Is this really what I'm meant to be doing here? Am I feeling uplifted about this story? Or is this just like me saying, okay, I'm going to resort to this? I have fear about maybe my situation at work, having to speak up or say what I need to say, or take a next step that I need to take because I'm scared, and I'm just comfortable here at my job, at my workplace. And so if you're telling yourself that story is going to create a situation for you. So it's really important to note that whatever you are thinking and then speaking is going to be created in your reality. So be mindful of this, you guys. Catch yourself, in these moments. And many of you are doing such a good job right now, being out in public. You're telling me I'm having moments where, I slip into my ego and I'm worrying, but then I catch myself and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. And it's really important to do that, to be mindful, take deep breaths, and really center to yourself and say, okay, wait, I don't want to perpetuate more of this. I want to shift the energy, and you have the power to do that. I want to shift the energy and ask yourself, what is my truth? What do I want from this situation? What do I want to see happen, out of this? A trick for doing that is to link up to what is your joy. So for some of you guys, I've been working with you, and you have that question about, well, when I'm wanting to manifest something, if I feel it deeply as my truth, is that my ego, like wanting something, or is that my spirit? And the way to know if it's coming from your spirit is it should be linked up to joy. If it is that thing that just brings you joy and it's heart-centered, you are on your path, you are aligned. Okay? If it's like I'm feeling like I have to do this, I need to do this, it's fear-based, like I'm doing it because I need money, I'm doing it because I am scared about not having insurance, I'm scared about, my kids being taken care of, or whatever the story is. If it's fear-based, right? If it's belief-based, if it's something coming from the ego, you will feel that energetically as more like a should have to do it, need to do it. It's not necessarily coming from a place of I want this. This is my desire from my heart. My soul knows it to be true. Okay, so that's the difference between the two. So manifesting good things means you're aligning with your joy, right? Whatever is sparking your joy. But that's not always an easy thing to attain. Sometimes it does take these tough steps. It takes dedication. It takes surrendering something sometimes, and that's where people come to me, because it's like, okay, I don't know what to do next. I don't know if this is the right step. I'm feeling very unsure about it, and I can tune in with them and see, yeah, is this coming from your ego? Is this coming from your spirit? And if it's coming from your spirit, take that step, right? Do that thing, even though you feel fear about it, or maybe you're scared, to say something to someone. Take that step, because then it's going to show you, okay, it's going to show you, once you do it, it opens the door, and you'll always see something ends up falling away from you and something good ends up coming from it. It helps to up-level you, right? So I wanted to share that story about my teacher and how, and I have to say that once I did, I did the divorce. I broke things off. I ended up saying, okay, I'm going to take a break. It was like a cloud lifted from me. I remember the feeling of, I was walking through Target and I felt like it was the first I was there. Like I was here. For years, I had this weird cloud, over me, like with me. And I'd started skipping in Target, and I was like, I don't have to go home to him. I started skipping. And it was in that moment I realized, like, wow, here I was for so long keeping myself trapped, in this old energy, keeping myself from moving forward. And I ended up realizing in that moment, like, how important it is to not attach, to allow yourself to have that gift of, moving forward when you need to move forward, and allow yourself to be aligned with your true self. And believe it or not, like, things started lining up. I mean, my work, my true work that I do now came into play. The man that I'm with now, I'm totally aligned with, came into my life. Things that, I could never imagine for myself, right? I mean, that's the other part of this. We hope we can vision what we want for ourselves. And let me tell you, you can't possibly know the goodness, right, that is coming for you on your path. But so many of us, like even right now, as I'm hearing this coming in right now, we're in fear about like the situation happening right now. And what's important to know about that is just simply a reflection of the disruptions, the disease, the where we are energetically, and what we're really truly wanting. It's just simply information. It's just simply a reflection of what's going on for all of us right now. That everyone on a massive scale wants this shift, wants this change. It's unfortunate that it has to come in the form of this virus. It's unfortunate that it has to get to that point, right, that loud, for us to get the message, for us to hear. And that's where when I work with people, and this is why I'm doing the course I'm doing coming up, because I'm like, we need to get into the energy of alignment. We need to get into the energy of what people truly are wanting for themselves and start doing that work, and doing that as a practice, right? Because if you do that, you hop into that energy. I love Abraham Hicks and the vortex. It's getting into the vortex of what you're wanting, right? For what you know to be true for yourself, of your what is your joy, what is the energy of that for you. Hop into that as an energy, And then things start showing up for you. The right people start showing up for you. The right customers show up for you. The right house, the right relationship, the right work. Like all of those things appear. They're just in front of you for you to say yes to or no to. Whatever that's where free will comes in, and you can say, okay, yes, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do that. Right? So once you're in that, once you're aligned with that energy, it just becomes laid out for you. I wrote down some notes. Let me see what else I have here. So the course, I wanted to definitely give you guys time to ask questions because I'm doing intuitive check-ins. So if any of you have any questions, please post down below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If you have questions about soul path or how to manifest, or if you just have a comment about manifesting something that's been coming up for you. I know a lot of people are, they're figuring things out right now for themselves energetically. It's been really interesting to hear and observe the last couple days, and people saying things like, wow, for the first time I'm hearing my dishwasher in the background. For the first time I'm hearing my dogs barking. It's funny how people are becoming more present, right? Because they're at home. A lot of people are finally kind of getting their eyes opened up to their situations at home, like within their relationships, where maybe they have been forcing something or resisting something, kind of keeping themselves held back, and now they're in it at home in their relationships and having to look at that eye to eye. And so people have been sending me messages, which I always encourage. I love to get messages from people where they are being very present and they're noticing, observing, what's going on around them and the shift that can come from that. That's all you have to do, is simply get super present and observe where you are and try not to judge it. Just be in a place of, I'm just observing this, and is this my truth? Most likely, if it's happening, if it's manifesting for you, it's not your truth. It's most likely something that is showing you, right, where you are, like in your beliefs and in your storyline. Your truth ends up being revealed to you and ends up getting manifested to you in much higher ways, in much more like higher level ways. So that's going to happen more on a soul level for you, where you're going to start to feel things in a different way. I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about with that because you've been doing the work. And so you start realizing things and noticing changes in your own soul for yourself. It's like what I call an awakening, basically, for yourself. And it can be a little bit difficult because old ways, old beliefs, old things start to fall away from you. And so that can be a little bit like scary for people because those things bring them comfort. But in the end, it's stuff that isn't serving you. It's stuff that needs to go. All right. So I wanted to talk about manifesting today because a lot of people have been coming to me with, we're in the situation that we're in right now, but they have been on a course of wanting to manifest good and manifest better for themselves. And so this is why I've been talking about soul path so much, because when you do get aligned and you start adding in the things that your soul needs and loves, your values, that's when you start manifesting the good stuff in your life. So I wanted to talk about manifesting on that level today. and how you can do that for yourself and create really good stuff. I mean, I've done this throughout my life with businesses. I've done this throughout my life with relationships, basically just creating things on that level for yourself and and observing it, enjoying it, and allowing yourself to keep moving forward. The course that is coming up on April 1st, I do have people now who are coming forward very interested in the course. And I think it's going to be an amazing experience because it's going to be like having a little mastermind of people who are ready. They want to emerge more into their gifts. They want to have that dedicated time to growing themselves and their business. And this is going to be true work. I mean, this is going to be us getting together once a week, possibly twice a week, because I'm going to be live in the Facebook group, and then I'm going to be live with you guys with the group. But we're coming together to offer support to one another, to do practices, to do practice sessions, to come together and start aligning with our gifts and creating from there. So you're going to see the difference of how you can create, right? What we're creating right now is kind of like massive chaos because everyone's aligning with their old stories. Everyone's aligning with their bad story of, I don't like my boss, I don't like my work, I don't like what I'm doing. And the more that people are aligning with that energy, the more it's going to create, it's going to grow the virus, right? It's going to help, it's going to feed that energy. It's going to feed the virus energy. It makes it more profound. It makes it bigger. And that helps us. It actually does help you get your message. Hang on, I'm going to take a sip of water. It helps you get your message, but it's not from a positive place. And this is where I say disease, disruptions in energy, when people are struggling, when they're going through something hard, it is actually a good thing because it's helping you to see where you're off path. So that's the important thing, right? But the unfortunate thing for people in this situation is, and it is waking people up, which is good, but the unfortunate thing is a lot of people are not awake. And so what's happening is this situation is forcing people to get quiet, to go back home, to have that time. Some people are actually getting laid off from their job. Like the universe is just like, boom, okay, you're not working here anymore. And so it's actually forcing, that upon you, which it feels like it's forced, but you're actually calling it in. Okay. So it's taking that personal responsibility and saying, I am creating, but I'm not creating from the aligned place. I'm creating from more of like that place of, I don't want to, I don't like this, I have to do this, I need to do that. You're aligning more from your ego. That's going to create situations that feel tough, that feel difficult, that feel hard. If you're able to, say, do something like this course, or you're able to align with a mastermind group, or you're able to get inspired, or you're able to work with a mentor, of some sort. You're able to hang around people who are on a high vibe level, people who are able to help you stay dedicated to your craft. If you get into those aligned places more, you're going to start aligning and you're going to start manifesting exactly what you want. The positive stuff, the good stuff. Okay? So this course is an opportunity to do that. This course allows you to come in with a group of people and to dedicate yourself to your craft, to get super aligned with who you are, with what you're wanting, to also get feedback from me, so that at times you can say, okay, be vulnerable. You can be in the group and be talking, be sharing things with your partner. I'm going to have you guys partner off at times. I'm going to hop in and check on you. And I am there as a mentor, energetically checking in with you to see, are you in your ego right now, or are you in your spirit right now? And if you're struggling, then we get you into your spirit. So it's doing the practice of constantly going from my ego to my spirit. All right. So when I say gifts, I don't want you guys to think like this is a psychic course. Okay. Like this is not all about how do I become psychic. This is about aligning with your true self. And there are many, many gifts. There are hundreds upon thousands of gifts. All right. My teacher calls them ascetes. They are things that naturally emerge from you when you awaken. And they come out in layers. And you're not supposed to attach to any one of them. Okay? They just are you. They are naturally there. And so when you do this work, when you are practicing in this way, and you're constantly going from ego to spirit, aligning with spirit, it helps those things to be revealed to you. It's kind of like taking a diamond that's in the dirt, and you're starting to pull the dirt away, and you're like, ooh, there's a diamond there. And then you start to pull a little bit more dirt away and brush it off, and you're like, oh, there's a big diamond there. And then you keep pushing and pushing the dirt off, and you're like, whoa, this is a multifaceted diamond. There are many beautiful parts to this thing. And when you do that, your true self becomes revealed. All right? So that's the point to this course. It's meant to help you understand that more about yourself, to be able to be in a safe space with others who are also getting that revealed to themselves, shining that to one another, and then sharing it in a safe space so that you can feel confident about those gifts and feel confident about being in your spirit more. And then taking that to a whole other level. So I'm doing this to merge business side of you, which is probably the more masculine side for most of you, with your spiritual side, which tends to be more the feminine side, even for men. Okay? Blending the two together, and we are bringing those together so that you can take those out to the world and share them. All right? And this, I mean, of course, the what do I want to say? Like, hopefully the reward, out of this is that you receive back. So monetary, right? Some kind of reward back. It could be through trade. It could be through lots of different ways, that you receive. And that could show up as a new relationship in your life. I'm guaranteeing if you get into this course with this group of people, you are going to have friendships come from this, because it's 12 weeks together, and it's people who are all about love and support, and being vulnerable. So you will get that out of it. But this is what happens when you go to that place of being in your spirit and walking that path. The right people, the relationships show up. The people who you've been like waiting to have in your life show up. Houses come, things come to you, things that I've had a girl come to me in a car. She was just given a car. She needed a car. She started aligning with her path, and a car just came into her life. So, this is what happens. Like when you start aligning, you don't know how it's going to happen, but definitely there are, of course, the benefits, that come with that, to come with aligning. And that's my goal for you guys, is to feel like you can do the work you're meant to do and get paid what you're meant to get paid, and have the freedom that you deserve and that you're meant to have. That's it. That's my spiel for today, you guys. So I'm here just for maybe a minute or two longer to give you guys an opportunity, if you have any questions, to definitely ask a question. If you want me to do an intuitive check-in for you about anything, it can be what's going on at home for you, with your job. If you have that question, feel free to ask. If you joined late or you're watching the replay, definitely come on and ask your question and I will answer it for you. I may even send you a little video or something just to say hi, and give you a personal little check-in. Okay? So it's been such a pleasure, you guys, talking with you about this, about soul path and manifesting. Please know that the course is open. The doors are open for this. I am welcoming in the people who feel most aligned with it right now, who are ready to upgrade and up level. Let's see. The early bird pricing ends tomorrow, Friday. All right. And I'm going to post a link. There is a link on Instagram in the bio. You can go to that link, and it's called Be Passionate and Prosper is the course, and that's the link. So on Facebook, I will definitely post a link to the course below. You can check it out there. The early bird pricing ends Friday, but I have the course open until the end of the month, end of March, and then April 1st we start. We come together, we do this mastermind together as a group, and we get into working together, and we start going through the course module by module to help you develop your business. All right, so the business part is getting worked on week by week, as you are working your gifts and you see your natural gifts emerge. It's going to be exciting stuff. I'm so excited. All right, that's my little dance. I promised you guys a dance. So I am super excited for this, for you guys, for this change, for everybody. I wish everyone out there who is stuck at home, who was not liking their job, that hated their boss, if you know someone who's in that situation, send them the link to this course. I wish that I could have people on a massive scale, that I could be like shaking them and be like, look what you manifested. Have them watch this video, okay? See if it resonates with them. I'm just wanting to help, serve, bring, pay it forward. Just like I was talking about my mentor earlier and what she did for me, it was priceless. It was absolutely priceless. Like I said, I went through college, and college was shit. It was just crap. There was minuscule things that I learned there to take into my life to have success with my first business, and now this business. My mentors, there have been a couple in my life, teachers even, that I credit with giving me the exact blueprint, like what exactly I needed to do to have success. And that helped me excel faster. It was so much faster. So I'm encouraging you to be in that energy right now. Take time for yourself to be in that energy. Seek it out right now. If you have, the universe is granting you this time as a gift, right? To hit the reset button. You can go and reach out and find the people. If it's not me, find your mentor, find your people, get inspired, make the shift for yourself, get into that energy, do it daily, do it weekly. Look, when I learned belly dance going once a week for 1 hour. I did that for 10 years. At the 10-year mark, this is what they always say, 10 years of doing something, you become a master. Literally at the 10-year mark, by a fluke, I ended up starting to teach belly dance. I have now been teaching it for 2 years. That's what happens when you go dedicate yourself and you put yourself in that energy. And I'm saying all you have to do is once a week. That's all. So please go do that for yourself, okay? If anything, you're given this time to go do that. All right, you guys, I love you. I'm sending you so much love, and please reach out to me if you are interested in this. Like I said, the price, I'm keeping the price till Friday. I was going to only do it till Tuesday. I'm doing it till Friday based on the circumstances right now. And I'm trying to get the information out there to you guys. So please share it with the appropriate people and let them know. Just reach out to me if you have a question. All right? I love you guys. Hang in there. Get attuned. Do what you got to do right now. And I'm signing off. I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right? Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm coming on live around noontime if you want to remember. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday.